If you're tired of starting over, I don't think you need a real dramatic life reset. I don't think you need to reinvent your entire personality tonight. And I don't think you need a perfect plan before you take the next step. I think you need one honest move that proves you're still in the game. Because sometimes the hardest part is not knowing what to do. Sometimes the hardest part is that you do know. You know you want more energy. You know you want more confidence. You know you want more money. You know you want clearer direction. You know you want a different kind of life. You know you want to feel proud of yourself again. But you're tired. You've started before. You've tried before. You've made plans before. You've had seasons where you thought, okay, this time I'm really doing it. And then life happened. You got busy. You got discouraged. You got distracted. You lost momentum. Something changed. Something hurt. Something took longer than expected. And now you're looking at your life thinking, how am I here again? How am I starting again? How am I rebuilding again? How am I trying to believe in myself again? So if that's where you are, this is not going to be a fake positive pep talk. I'm not going to tell you to just believe harder, but I am going to tell you this. Starting again does not mean you failed. Sometimes starting again means there is still something in you that refuses to give up on your own life. And that is worth listening to. First, stop making tired mean incapable. The first thing I want to say is this. You are not failing because you are tired. You might be tired because you have been carrying a lot. You might be tired because life has been complicated. You might be tired because you are responsible for more than people see. You might be tired because you have been trying to hold everything together while also wanting something more. And when you're tired, your brain can get really dramatic. It starts saying things like, I'm lazy, I'm behind, I'm inconsistent, I never follow through. I should be further ahead. Maybe I'm just not the kind of person who can do this. But tired is not the same as incapable. Discouraged is not the same as done. A slow season is not the same as a failed life. Sometimes tired just means the next step needs to be smaller, not non-existent, just smaller. Maybe you do not need a 47-step plan. Maybe you need food, water, sleep, a shower, a walk, a clean surface, one email, one decision, one honest action. That still counts. And for a lot of us, that is how momentum comes back. Not from a giant breakthrough, but from one small action that reminds us I can still move. Second, you don't need to fix your whole life today. When we feel behind, we often go extreme. And I know I've done this. We think, I need to fix my money, I need to fix my career, I need to fix my health, I need to fix my house, I need to fix my habits, I need to fix my confidence. I need to fix my entire life before Monday. And then we freeze. Because the whole life is too big. The whole future is too heavy. The whole transformation is too much pressure. So instead of doing one thing, we do nothing. Or we scroll, or we research, or we make another giant plan, or we wait until we feel ready. And then the waiting becomes another thing we regret. So maybe the question is not, how do I fix my whole life? Maybe the better question is, what is the next honest move? Not the most impressive move, not the most aesthetic move, not the move that proves everything is finally figured out, but the honest move. The move that lines up with the life you say you want. That might be recording the video, it might be applying for the job, it might be cleaning the desk, it might be making the appointment, it might be calling the client, it might be going for a walk, it might be telling the truth. It might be resting on purpose instead of collapsing from avoidance. The next honest move is powerful because The next honest move is powerful because it brings you back into relationship with your own life. It says, I am not abandoning myself today, and that is enough to begin. Third, starting again does not erase what you already learned. One of the reasons starting feels so discouraging is because it can feel like you're back at zero. But most of the time, you are not back at zero. You are starting again with more information. You know more. You know more now. You know what drains you. You know what to avoid. You know what kind of support you need. And you know where you overcomplicate things. You know what happens when you ignore the problem too long. You know what you still want, and that matters. The last version of the plan may not have worked. The last version of the plan may not have worked. That does not mean it was wasted. Maybe the plan was too complicated. Maybe it was built on pressure. Maybe it was for an old version of your life. Maybe it worked for a season and then the season changed. Maybe you needed to learn something before you could build the next version. That is not nothing. Starting again with awareness is not the same as starting from scratch. You are not the same person you were last time you began. So don't throw away the lesson just because the first version did not last. Bring the lesson with you, but make the next version simpler. Make it more honest, make it you're aligned with your real life, and then move. Fourth, stop waiting for confidence before you act. This is a big one. A lot of us are waiting to feel confident before we start. We want to feel ready, we want to feel clear, we want to feel motivated, we want to feel like the kind of person who does the thing. But sometimes confidence does not come before the action. Sometimes confidence comes from taking the action. Sometimes confidence comes from watching yourself take action. You do the small thing, then you trust yourself a little more. You keep the promise, then you believe yourself a little more. You survive the awkward first version, then you become a little less afraid of being seen. That is how confidence gets built. Not all at once, not by thinking about it forever, by creating evidence. Evidence that you can move. Evidence that you can choose. Evidence that you can try again without making it mean something terrible about you. So if you do not feel confident today, that's okay. Don't wait for full confidence. Borrow a little courage, take one step. Let the confidence catch up. Fifth, progress is often quiet before it is visible. This is where a lot of people quit too soon. They do the thing for a little while and nothing huge happens. The number does not change fast enough. The money does not show up fast enough. The room does not look different enough. The audience does not grow fast enough. The confidence does not arrive fast enough. And they think this is not working. But a lot of progress is quiet before it becomes visible. It looks like repeating the thing when no one is clapping. It looks like learning the skill. It looks like making the awkward first version. It looks like choosing not to spiral as long as you used to. It looks like making one better decision. It looks like going to bed instead of making your life harder tomorrow. It looks like showing up again even when the result has not caught up yet. That may not look dramatic, but it is evidence. And evidence matters because evidence is how you start to believe again. Not because you force yourself into fake positivity. Because you can point to something and say, I did not quit today. I made one move. I kept one promise. I am still building. And that is how a bigger life starts to become believable. Sixth, borrow belief until yours comes back. Sometimes a belief is not available yet. And I do not want to pretend that you can just flip a switch and suddenly feel unstoppable. Sometimes you are too tired. Sometimes you are too discouraged. Sometimes you are too deep in the messy middle to feel certain. So maybe you do not need full belief today. Maybe you just need enough belief to take the next step. Borrow it from someone who sees possibility for you. Borrow it from the version of you that has survived hard things before. Borrow it from one tiny piece of evidence that says, I have done difficult things before. Borrow it from the fact that you are still here, still thinking, still wanting something to change. Because the fact that you still want more means something. It means there is still something alive in you. So until your own belief feels strong again, borrow this. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified because you have started over before. You are not broken because you are tired. You do not have to become a completely different person overnight. You just need one honest move, one small piece of evidence, one decision that says, I have not abandoned myself. 7th, choose the smallest move that future you will thank you for. So if you are tired of starting over, here is the question. What is the smallest move future you would thank you for? Not the move that impresses everyone, not the move that fixes everything, not the move that makes your life look perfect from the outside, the move that helps you come back to yourself. Maybe it is drinking the water, maybe it is making the food, maybe it is sending the message, maybe it is cleaning the desk, maybe it is opening the document, maybe it is recording the video, maybe it is applying for the thing. Maybe it is saying, I need help. Maybe it is going to bed on time. Maybe it is deciding that you are done postponing the life that keeps calling you. Small does not mean meaningless. Small is often how we start telling the truth again. Small is how we stop waiting. Small is how we build evidence. And evidence is how we begin to trust ourselves again. So no, you do not need to rebuild your whole life today. You do not need to have the entire plan. You do not need to feel fully ready. You just need one honest move. One move that says, I am still here, I am still choosing, I am still building. My story is not over. So let today count, even if it is small, especially if it is small. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.